also mark in that thread, just make sure that people know that we're starting.
Yeah, we starting. Gosh, my avatar looks so happy to be here, guys. So happy. So anyways. Right. I'm gonna have to bother my Discord real quick, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yo, I just got a subscriber.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
On Twitch or on Tapas?
On Tapas.
Oh, look out. That's exciting.
Everyone, STCC is live on Twitch.
Woohoo.
There we go. I've annoyed my Discord. I say that like they don't love me. I hope they love me. Gosh.
Oh, we love
I know you guys do. It's fine. Hey, yeah, I did, Crow. Hi, Crow.
Hey, Crow.
I'm so glad you love me. Yeah, I edited my avatar again. And I got facial expressions down, I think.
I'm so happy.
But anyways, so we're going to start the Storytime ChitChat in a couple minutes here. But first of all, you know, we've decided that we're just going to start it, you know, 5 minutes early so that way we can, you know, drop all of the promo stuff and not waste our valuable time of speaking and at you and wording.
Yes.
So go follow our shit. I mean, right now we only have our wonderful I can speak, I promise. Right now all we have is our wonderful Crow right now, and we absolutely adore our Crow.
We do adore our Crow.
So right now we're just screeching at our Crow to follow us harder, even though they follow us hard already, and I love you, Crow, for it.
We like them so much that we refer to them as our Crow.
Our Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Crow shares our one brain cell. There's currently 3 people using it, so we'll see how this.
Yes, share it.
We'll see how our stream actually goes. But yeah. Oh shit! Crow doing the hentai attack.
I think they unfollowed just to follow again.
Oh yeah, they like we like the follows here. So Crow,
I forgot that would happen.
So Crow, how's our volumes? Are either of us too loud or anything? Is mine too loud? Because it keeps jumping up into the red and it's making me nervous. Like, should I turn it down or? Because I honestly don't know why my mic is more sensitive today. Okay, yeah, as long as it sounds fine, that's all that matters.
I'm listening to it with the volume on, and it sounds pretty okay.
Okay. Like is that a good okay, or like?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, sounds good.
I don't know if you guys can even hear the music either, but whatever. We're always guessing everything because we don't have our shit together. Anyways.
Just wing it.
Oh, you got like a minute. But, so I'm going to bring up the avatar so I can...
Did you make your tweet for this, John?
No.
Oh, okay.
I haven't bothered with my social media the past few days because fudge it.
Oh, okay.
Just a little bit.
Can you show us expressions, us being me? Of course.
The expressions try.
They do.
Oh, they try so hard.
You're so adorable.
There you go.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be sure to make her angry by annoying her. With
I laugh too much to do it. It's all about the eyebrows.
It is.
Now
I am fully expecting myself to say at least something to earn a look.
Anyway, I'll have to do some better more calibrating, add more calibrating so it picks up better. Anyways, though, it's 10 o'clock, so it is Storytime ChitChat officially. So,
yeah.
Here with Hopeful Tempt and HippieGhost up there in the corner.
That's me.
She's in timeout. Just kidding.
Was I a naughty girl?
We're all naughty here. Except Crow. Crow is perfect.
That's true. Crow is very innocent.
So tonight, for When Souls Awaken, we will be talking about chapters 38 through 41. Just a reminder, chapters 42 and 43 both dropped this week and are available now. I'm really excited for 43 because it's, technically the first chapter I ever planned for When Souls Awaken. But I got a little distracted and wrote their entire backstories and histories instead. But
it's a mild distraction.
Just a little, because my alpha reader was like, yo, you know what'd be good is if you expanded on this part. I'd love to see them more as a child.
Yeah,
I'm like, but I wasn't planning this, hippie.
Okay, yeah, just call me out for providing constructive criticism.
It's okay. One of the things I get complimented on the most at this point is my descriptions, which they were something I could not do for the life of me when I first started, because I wrote them, and I shit you not, I wrote them like a science major, because I was a bio major, and I was writing all the scientific papers at that point. I was like, bitches. I was like, it was 72 degrees Fahrenheit. No, I wasn't that bad. But
you weren't that bad, but it was like you would set up the scene in a way where it was like they were they walked into this town that had
stuff and things.
And that was it.
Yeah.
But now you have this very beautiful.
I got poetic shit now.
You're very poetic. I really appreciate how many people compliment your like descriptive writing now, because it really has become basically your biggest strength.
Woo! Pow pow. Don't know why my thumb. Look at that hand. Okay. Anyways, so chapter 38 we're starting with that. We have our appearing characters are Alora, Rune, and Flora. Kuro gets mentioned, but and we actually have a teeny tiny bit of God chat, which is Noxra, the Lady of Darkness. The goddess of the warden of hell. So, because she's not the goddess of hell, that is the common mistake in the world. That is not, Anyway, so now I got both hands going. Watch out. So chapter 38 is dealing with the recovery from chapter 37, where I made everyone cry and yell at me, and I promise I'll do it again. And we see that Alora is more or less, burying things and sating Kuro by telling him a little bit. You know how, like, when someone keeps bothering you about something repeatedly, and then you find out that if you just go, hey, you know what really is bothering me? Is this, is just this little ice cube right here. Here's this little ice cube here. You can have it and fix it for me. And then I'm like, oh yeah, cool, that's great. And then meanwhile behind you there's a whole fucking iceberg.
Yeah.
With
it's
the
like,
Titanic shipping.
I saw that it's like just people who are traumatized but don't want to talk about like something that's actually bothering them will usually overshare in entirely different ways.
I do that sometimes. I do the little ice cube too. It's my favorite tactic. It works so well.
Yeah, I know it does, and because you try to use that on me all the time, and most of the time I'm just like, okay, bye, Crow.
I'll miss you.
We're sorry to see you leave. But no, you try that tactic on me, and you end up, oh my god, you with the hug thing.
I managed to do a sad face.
Aw. But yeah, you try that tactic on me, and half the time I'm just like, sure, I'll help you with the small thing, as opposed to
yeah, no, I knew what I had a feeling that's the joke you were going through, Crow. I'm sorry about the delay. I tried to make it as small as I can, but there's only so much I can do before the internet,
Yeah, plus sometimes it just buffers and everything gets really,
So, anyways, back to, sating Kuro. She tells him by the trauma, she does her little ice cube is the trauma that she dealt with in Usko's nightmare. And it's a big red flag in this part of the chapter where she appears to be emotionally struggling for only like a few days, but then nothing. It's like nothing happened. It's like she was just playing the part of the traumatized, even though she is traumatized. She's just smashing that shit in.
Yeah, just smashing it down into a freaking like jar that is long since cracked.
Yeah. And so she's walking around like, a kid didn't just like die in her arms recently. And we can be sure that she would probably ignore her physical injuries if in the same exact manner that she was physically capable of doing that. Let's be real here. It's Alora.
Mm-hmm.
She hides
Yeah,
things.
this is true.
She hides personal things. She's
Yeah,
like,
she
no,
does.
she's like, you bitch, we gonna take care of your problems. What about mine? No, I don't got any. I'm fine.
Yeah, no,
Nah,
perfectly fine.
Nah, screw you. I'm the hero here. Me.
Yeah.
So we do see that Alora did take what she learned though from that incident with the boy, in her insistence that Flora start training as well, because that way Flora can actually defend herself when Alora is absent, because otherwise she's just a little fucky wuckied. But because Alora is just so freaking out over the fact that she tried so hard to save these people and she couldn't, because she wasn't there, because she can't be there all the time when she's rescuing all these other people too. But anyways, this chapter is pretty short and it wraps up with Flora's acceptance of the training, and she's super excited that Alora's going to be training her. So it's kind of a nice little moment, honestly, I think. A little bit of excitement. And the final line of the chapter is the one moment of God chat that occurs in this chapter. And it's where we have the lovely Noxra saying something pretty bitchy about Flora because she thinks Flora is wasting Usko.
Hello, Ricky Bear.
Hello! Thanks for coming to the stream! I don't know if you read the story at all, but it's free to subscribe.
Yes, and you're going to be learning all sorts of things about our stories, so, stick
yeah.
around.
We're having fun. How are you tonight? But yeah, so Noxra says something real bitchy. She's just like, and here I was starting to worry my dear Usko was going to become nothing more than a nurse dog. Which, she has a point. Usko is the guardian of, like, hell, so.
Yeah,
But yeah, whatevers, I guess. So.
Big, menacing, evil dog of darkness ends up just babysitting a kid.
Hey, he wanted a friend after Noxra abandoned him. And
Fair.
Flora need friends after everyone didn't even notice she left. Like, she was 6.
Rip.
No one noticed. She's just a child. Well, she was. Not anymore. Hell, in the newer chapter, read this. That'll be next time, StoryTime ChitChat, where we talk about Flora being more adulty. But, anyways, so the next chapter was chapter 39, which is training. So, titled Training. And for appearing characters, we have Flora, Rune, Alora, Jay, Cole, Armel, and Kuro. That's one new person in that mix. And one old person that we all want to just die. Because he's a jerk. He ruined everything.
Yeah, he did.
But, no God chat for this chapter. But this one focuses on Flora's training, and we see that Alora can be a bit of a shit with her wording, because, she's like, do it or face the consequences. Flora's freaking out, because she's like, there's no way I can beat her in this race. And it turns out that she just had to get to the beach. It didn't matter how long it took her or anything. She just had to get there, and Flora's just making her have spicy armpits, because it's really fun to torture your friends, apparently. But, anyways, more importantly, the girls end up going swimming, much to Flora's surprise, and they get, like, some really nice playful moments between them, and even Rune gets, thrown in the mix of it. So that's always fun when the sloth is screaming. We also get to have a funny-ass moment of boob envy from Flora. She's like, when are mine coming in? She's like, I
can absolutely relate.
I love her and her moments. They're ridiculous.
I love the one joke that I always see where it's like, the weird thing about being a trans girl is having that moment of, do I want those boobs on my chest or in my face?
But yeah. So, anywho, they finish up their swim and get some uninvited company. Flora's trusting naivety shows, and Alora reminds her to get dressed while being sure to place herself between Flora and these these guys that have shown up. Alora's also sure to place Rune with Flora because she's like, if I need to kick ass, I don't want to have to hold my sloth at the same time. Because if you remember the first time she met Cole, he was pretty bad at taking no as an answer. And he ended up eating a mouthful of sand, so that was nice.
Yeah.
And it seems that his friend that he's got here with him, named Jay, appears to be worse than he is. And on top of that, Alora is, sensing that there's some big-ass mage around, too. So, and of course, the other mage is none other than the horrible Armel. And it takes all of her self-control to not just, eviscerate the guy, but she does threaten him in a pretty discreet manner. And the others are kept nice and ignorant to it, so they don't know. They don't know that she's just like, yo, I'm going to fucking kill you if you try anything. Mm-hmm. But anyways, after these tense moments, we have Alora leaving with Flora, and Cole actually follows after them. And much to everyone's surprise, he asks Alora if she's okay, and then of course he asks her out on a date, and she's like, what? No. She's like, what? You're not 100% an asshole? But yeah, no, still on a date. No. She's blunt. She's not leading anyone on.
Yeah, it's not even I'm flattered or anything like that.
It's just like, no thanks.
Yeah, just no thank you.
Not even have a nice day.
Yeah.
But at least she didn't just leave him unseen. She walks away though. And Flora...
Sorry I left you on red. I didn't mean to open the message.
That's me. That's me. So often, I almost feel bad. I mean, I do feel bad, but I have anxiety. Not that that's an excuse; it's just an explanation.
I appreciate you.
So Flora offers, to talk to Alora, and when she does catch up to Alora, she gets the same answer that Alora gave Cole there because, yeah. Anyways, Alora reveals that she does not want to have anyone else to lose. She doesn't want to have to lose anyone else. Because, after everything that happened with Axis, she's just like, no more. I'm good.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. No one needs no. And it's after this that we have the chapter wrap up with the girls back at the clinic. And Alora learns that Flora is working on becoming a doctor. And she's just so proud of her. She's so proud of the little midget. Not that she's a midget. She is. She's just short.
I was not expecting you to call her that.
She's just short. She's short and lovable. We all love Flora.
Yes, she's an adorable little lesbian.
Uh-huh. Best lesbian.
Excuse you?
She was a lesbian first. I don't even know what the... I'm sorry. I like how my avatar just jumped back. Wow, what is with those physics of the jiggles? That was I changed a few things on my avatar. That was not one of them. But either way. So on to chapter 40, titled Growing Pains, where we have a little bit of heartbreak. So our appearing characters are Flora, Alora, Rune, Kuro, Yuka, Alanis, and Axis, but only in memory.
Rip. There was a little bit of a tease there.
So in God Chat, we have Rixacalis, Morsimum, Gratianon, and Anima. I love Anima. She's so great. Same with Morsimum. I just love that whole little god family. Just I don't know why I did that, but anyway, so the chapter starts out with Alora and Flora training, and it's the two have been training for about 2 months at this point, so we have more time passing again, and we see that Flora is making pretty good progress, but we also see that her relationship with Yuka is continuing to wither away and get more strained, and yeah, they're just really struggling. So in the beginning of this chapter, we have some fun in the God Chat with Rixa being a proud parent. She's like, is this what it's like to be a proud parent? And she asks the god of death, who's the only god that I have with a kid, apparently. And because, Alora's doing such a good job in, training Flora. So, and of course, Morsimum being the wonderful father he is, he takes this opportunity to say, I don't know what that's like. Because...
this what being a proud parent is, or some? I don't know what that's like.
And Grazianon, his son, is quick to go cry to his mother, Anima, who reminds her husband to be kind to their child. And, it's at the end of the God Chat that we see Flora have a wonderful, useless lesbian moment where Allura puts her in a hold to try and train her, teach her how to get out of it. And Flora's like, she's like, okay, now try to get out of it. And Flora's just like, nah, I'll happily die in your arms like this.
Rip.
She's like, nah, I'm good to die here. This is fine.
Flora's pretty close to getting stepped on, and she likes it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anywho, their sparring comes to an end for the day, and Flora beats Allura, finally. But she doesn't realize she did it with the help of Usko, because Usko interfered. Because he wants his girl to win. He's just like, she tries so hard. He's just a good puppy. And Al gives her the victory because it meant so much to her. She was so excited. She didn't want to, dash her hopes. Fun little bit here that I wanted to say is it's kind of a foreshadowing of, Allura protecting her for things and it not working. Because Yuka comes and, Yuka witnessed this thing and she interprets it as Flora just using her shadows to fool around with Allura. So this leads to a big fight between those two. Yuka and Flora, that is. And when it's over, Allura tries to comfort Flora, and the girl just snaps at her and storms off because, she's like, this is your fault. But she says it less directly, but still kind of directly. But you know what I mean. Anyway, after this, Flora heads back to the clinic where she tries to do a lesson with Kuro, but he's like, you need to work on your judgment today. Know when to, when you're not able to do a certain task. Like, you don't want to perform surgery if you're like having a mental breakdown. So Kuro also advises her to try, because he's pretty sure it's issues with Yuka, because it's always issues with Yuka. So...
That girl.
Yeah. So, Kira advises her to try and use a small gift to ease things between her and Yuka. But he also adds that, sometimes it's just better to end things. Sometimes it's just cut it off. So Flora decides, yeah, I'll take a gift. So then we get the nice little flashback to where she learned how to make baked apples, which is what she uses as the gift. And we find out that, Axis taught her. And it's really nice getting this little moment back where we get to see Axis again for the first time in whatever amount of pages, words, however you want to, Either way, we all miss Axis. And this moment helps... to solidify that in his really short time with them, that he didn't just have a huge impact on Allura, but he had a huge impact on Flora as well. Well,
it's a very, very formative time for her too. I mean, she was 6 years old and they were traveling together.
Yeah, it's really easy to imprint, But yeah. So once the treats are done, Flora is sure to leave one for Kuro and another for Allura before she goes over to Yuka's, where she's greeted by Alanis. And Yuka's she's kind of a bitch at first, but then she's like, oh, you brought me a present. I love you now. And she's like, whoa, how'd you come up with this? Did you come up with it yourself? And, Flora's like, oh, no, Axis taught me. And, I never saw what, Allura saw in her. And she's like, it's always about Allura. And so it turns into a big blowout. And it's super important to note that Yuka doesn't know who Axis is. Like, she's like, who's Axis? And Flora hasn't opened up much, honestly, about her days of traveling with him. Like, she's mentioned stuff about Allura during the travel, but she hasn't really mentioned about Axis. Because that's something that still hurts her. She's she misses him. She was a kid. And she was about to tell Yuka, about how Allura's all hung up on Axis, and, but Yuka snaps before she can even tell her. So, they have this big blowout, and the relationship finally just breaks apart, and it's over. And it ends with Flora returning to the clinic, and of course Allura is there to comfort her, because she's like, you're my little sister, I got you, boo. It's gonna be okay. You deserve better. But, yeah. Oh, gosh. Oh, we're still not done. We got another
No, you
chapter.
still got one more chapter.
Holy moly, I had 4 chapters for this. I'm like,
did.
everything just feels like it's going on forever today. This is what happens, guys, when you put everything off to, like, 40 minutes before your deadline.
Oh, are you talking about how, like, you did, like, all 4 of your edits for the Patreon edition last night?
3. I did one of them the day before. Suck my something. I'm not specifying because you'll like that too much. Anyways, as the years pass, chapter 41. So the appearing characters is Allura, Flora, Rune, Kuro, and Mr. Garrett in memory, though. Who's this Mr. Garrett? I mean, you should know if you're watching this. Otherwise, you're kind of spoiling the story for yourself, but who cares? I take any views. So once again, we have time passing, and we learn that Allura resumed her hunting trips, but they now focus on the prayers rather than chasing her own personal vendetta against slavers. We also learn that Flora is now flourishing, in no small part due to the fact that she's not in a shitty relationship anymore. Flora has also bloomed in her social life, becoming a bit of a town idol, while Allura starts to gain fame under her title of Unicus. However, as the years pass, Allura is struggling more and more with feeling stagnant. Despite how Allura feels, she always makes sure to come back to spend time with Flora, and Flora sees that Allura is struggling. And we get this great line from Allura where she's like, maybe I'm just being dramatic. Despite, like, Allura being, like, one of the least dramatic characters in the story. Like, if she's shouting about something, it's because she should have been shouting probably 20 minutes beforehand. Like,
probably.
Like, she is just such a cool, level-headed character. Honestly, she's cold. But we're starting to see more of that. Hopefully things will warm up for her soon. And Flora just and Flora, meets this whole, maybe I'm just being dramatic with that, well, why don't we just start traveling again? Problem solved. So, and that's it. Flora sets to work on making it possible, while Allura ends up having a little chatty chat with Kuro. And Kuro reveals that Flora, Kuro reveals to Allura. Okay, I so fucked up and have no idea where I went. But anyway, so Flora works on making it possible for them to start traveling, while Allura ends up having a chat with Kuro. And Kuro reveals to Allura that Flora set on the path of becoming a doctor when she was 6, just so that she could help Allura. She said, "Teach me how to doctor." And it was adorable. So this then leads into Allura saying it feels like it was a lifetime ago since she prayed to him. And he's like, "Yeah, about you praying." And this leads to another flashback. This flashback is to Allura's childhood. I want to say she was like 6 in it. I'd have to double check, but
I believe you're right.
Yeah, I want to say she was 5 or 6. I'm pretty sure she was 6. But I can always double check for my Discord and let them know if they remind me. Otherwise, we all forgot, and it'll be interesting. I don't know. It'll come up maybe one day. Someday. Somehow. It's going to be all right, but maybe not right now. Anyway, so the flashback is to Allura's childhood, where she's
Flash player.
She is I can talk. Carving her and Rune's friendship on the tree, like Allura and Rune BFFs. It's quite cute. Way to scar that tree for life, though, Allura. And then we have this guy named Mr. Garrett interrupting. And Allura doesn't seem really worried about him. She's just, kind of annoyed that he calls her Allie. She doesn't like that nickname. Hates it more even nowadays.
Yeah,
but so Mr. Garrett questions, Al where her parents are. And when she says that she doesn't know, he shows his true colors. And we discover that he is, a fanatic worshiper of who else but none other, Lars Solus, the guy who started this whole entire fucking mess of the book.
Yay!
And he believes that Alora's following of Abervis will bring ruin upon the world, saying, "For any who whisper the name of the ancient will bring death to us all and must be burned." So he's like, we have to cleanse this bitch with fire. And
Yes.
not even stopping to be like, oh,
Main
she's
approach.
6 years old. I swear.
Perfectly reasonable, really.
Oh, the things I come up with. So we then have a struggle between the two that ends with the young Alora killing him to save herself. And her father witnesses it. And he's screaming her name in horror when he witnesses it. And then the flashback ends. So the reason we get this flashback, though, it's to showcase Alora's first prayer. Not any of the stuff I just told you, but which was when Mr. Garrett reaches for her, he grabs her pendant, which is the one that, you know, she wears. It represents, it carries Abervis's symbol. And she prays to Abervis when he takes it. She's like, oh my god, Abervis, do not let him take my necklace. Like, that pendant means so much to her. And she's just a child. It's such a selfish, innocent little, you know, prayer. And it was all over a necklace, where her other ones was like, yo, please save my friend and me from dying. And please save my friend from hell's torture. Like, but no, her first prayer was, please don't let him take my necklace.
Yeah, that's it.
So the flashback ends when Kuro pulls her out of the memory with going like, hey, you still alive? You still with me? And Alora just tells him, you know, she doesn't remember her first prayer. And Kuro's like, I smell the bullshit, but fine. And the chapter ends with him just, you know, being like, fine, just, you know, just stay safe out there. It's fine. Shadow! Hello!
Oh, also, he has an important... What's your important, Shadow?
What's your important, my little Shadow Waddo?
Yeah, what's going on?
Either way, that
Waiting for it?
we're waiting for that, but as we're waiting for that, I just want to say that that wraps up that chapter.
Yay!
Oh, that's so excited!
Okay.
I can't wait for you to get your little chip in, and then we can send little messages to each other over the 5G network.
Yes, it'll be so perfect.
I can't wait to see you on there. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Mm-hmm. I've been haunting people through mine.
That's wonderful.
Yes. All right.
It is going to be great. I'm so excited for you, Shadow. I can't even say. So anyways, because we started our thing, you know, 5 minutes earlier to throw in all of our promos, we're not going to throw our promos in the center. So we're going to go straight over to the Aphuanian Tales focus. Ta-da!
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at the side of my own space. Isn't that lovely? Okay, I do that every time, but I'm still loving it. Anyway,
It took me like a whole 5 minutes to make that background once,
so
and I had to make it like 6 times so I could get the stars to shift.
It makes me just so
I'm
happy.
learning things.
But yes, it is now my time. And unlike Amanda, I can't do the hand things, so this is definitely going to be...
So I'm going to sit here and make the little...
Yes, because otherwise this would not be a very Italian stream, which granted I am not Italian. So
They're not Italian, they're speaking! I am mocking you!
Wow, okay, I see how it is. But in any case, so we're going to be, for the Aphuanian Tales, instead of focusing on a specific story, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be focusing on a character. So I asked the people in my Discord whether or not they had a character in question that they wanted to hear about, preferably one that has been revealed. And
I am, however, so you have my blessing. Thank you.
Thank you, Austin.
Thank you,
We
Austin.
appreciate it. All right, but
On
yes,
this,
so
the day of
asked-
my daughter's wedding.
Perfect. But yes, so Crow asked specifically because she was the only one that actually responded to me, or they were the only one that actually responded to me, but they really want to know about Farron, and you know, how could I refuse? So
Easily, by saying no. By being a bitch.
Oof. Yeah, but I wasn't gonna do that. Plus, I actually have really been wanting to talk a little bit about
I
Farron
love
because
Farron. He's my favorite
he's a
puppy.
character. I'm honestly, I'm 6 stories in, and he has not made an appearance yet, which I
He's the
think
best
is.
bird dog.
What'd you say?
He's the best bird dog.
He is.
Woof.
But yes, so. But yeah, Farron is actually the first character I've ever made. And so there's a lot to him. So I'm going to go over a couple of the basics, and we'll kind of go from there. So first of all, Farron is a member of the Crimson Tempest's crew, but he is very loosely a member of the Crimson Tempest crew. Generally, the Tempest brings him in when they need him for something, and they'll actually like send for him. Otherwise, he goes off on his own because he's on his own to hunt on a very personal mission. So, this makes him a very rare treat aboard the ship, but when he's there, he's actually the best swordsman on board by a long shot. There is nobody on the Tempest that can beat him in a sword duel. There's very specific reasons for that. Whenever he's around, generally he ends up helping to train some of the other recruits. Otherwise, Cherry does it. But he's also the only member of the crew that can beat Arya and Elra in a fight, and that's considering them using their magic or their psionic powers, depending on if it's Arya or Elra.
And both of them are crazy powerful.
Yes, both are crazy powerful. I mean, Arya is able to summon actual, like, full-on storms, whereas Elra can, she could kill you with her brain if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Farron can take her in a fight is pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But the thing about Farron too, though, is that he has a very soft side. He's one of the softer characters, with another one being Donovan. They're both fairly close in that. But Farron is a bit of a puppy. He has gone through a hell of a lot, and there's a lot of trauma behind him. And it will show in his stories once I start getting to show him a little bit more often. But the big thing with him is that he overcompensates in helping others in an attempt to sate his personal traumas. And I'm talking about, like, straight up, like, someone could, like, just have, like, a little tone shift, and he just immediately, "Are you okay? I'm here for you. I want to help you. What's going on?"
In other
Like,
words, it's cease.
listen.
I'm listening.
I'm not that bad. Not anymore, at least.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was waiting for.
So, yeah, Farron actually is based on a person I was at a time when I was dealing with a whole lot of issues and was overcompensating by trying to help pretty much everybody around me. Big hero complex ended up being given to him and was actually used as an outlet for it. His story is very detailed and very interesting, but he has a very personal mission that is important to him. So in Aething, there is a group of knights specifically called Inquisitors. And the Inquisitors are mage killers. So in most countries in Aething, not all of them, but in a lot of countries in Aething, magic is either illegal or at the very least harshly limited. But the Inquisitors are members of the church who specifically go out to kill witches and magic users, especially ones that they think are a threat. They have the ability to ignore the laws of other kingdoms in order to go on their personal hunt. It's kind of like an inquisition. Farron wants to kill every Inquisitor in Aething personally, despite not being a mage himself. He has a very personal vendetta against the Inquisitors, and he becomes a completely different person when he is fighting. So you have this person who's kind of like a really big puppy in normal circumstances, always, your best friend, wants to help you out. As soon as he sees an Inquisitor or sees any sort of injustice happening, it's like a light switch. And
He goes from...
Go ahead.
No, I was just trying to get the expressions to do it.
Oh,
he goes from all ha to grr.
It's more like he goes from being this kind of like, "Hi, how are you? I'm here to help you. I want to take care of you," to "I am going to destroy your soul." And he's not kidding about that, by the way, because one of Varen's big things is that he has the ability to destroy a person's soul. And I mean, it's gone forever. There is no heaven or hell waiting for them. It is just there is nothing left. So if you're on Farron's bad side, you're in trouble. That's the major thing about Farron with that. So I actually have quite a bit of time. But so before I move on to the discussion about finding work, I'm gonna open the chat to any questions about Farron, because I feel like people might want to know a little bit more about him. And in the meantime, I do have a question from Crow that was listed, that was
Are you
brought
ready?
up.
I got it for you. So Crow wants
Okay.
to know. Crow wants to know, why do you make me cry? And by me, I mean Crow. That was coming
Yeah,
from
Crow
Crow.
specifically. So the answer to that is because I enjoy invoking emotions, and because I enjoy watching you specifically squirm. Love ya.
Crow. Watch out, Crow. You're not safe, apparently.
Apparently not. What a WTF. I mean that with love.
Don't listen to her.
No, Crow knows I take care of them.
Yeah.
But no, realistically though, the actual answer is just because I do enjoy eliciting a good reaction out of the readers, but also because in cases of like trauma and stuff, I want to make a good story, and I don't hurt people without a reason. Especially in terms of a character's pain and stuff. A lot of times, once the audience is familiar with that pain, I can then focus on the catharsis. You know, if I have a character that they lost a lot because of another character's actions, and they go through a whole lot of grief and stuff, you better believe that chances are they're going to get the catharsis of revenge. I don't
Yeah.
do trauma unnecessarily.
I'd like to say I'm the same way. Like, the trauma that Alora is enduring, it's all to make sure she becomes the person she needs to be. And on a side note, this trauma is also going to affect the future for some other characters that are going to learn from what she, from her life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it builds.
That's very important. So, because we're both very heavily believers of the idea that trauma and just major issues like that should not be unnecessary. They need to be crucial. So,
Yeah.
Anything that happens, it's a big part of the story.
Yeah. And if it is unnecessary, so to speak, it's purposely unnecessary in the story so that the character thinks that, they've gone through a bunch of like, I have a character that, like, her whole thing is that life is just complete shit all the time, but it's because I need her to be this specific character, because that's the kind of character I was going to write. It's not that it's unnecessary for the story, but it's just, it's a lot.
Yes. So before I move on to, because I want to do a little brief touch on one of my stories, the first one actually, for those who would be possibly just joining us here. So but before I do that, do we have any questions for
Unless it's you
about...
or Crow.
Yeah.
You two are, I'm pretty sure you're the only two viewers that I have listed here.
At this point, yeah, but I just, I was opening it up.
Yeah.
Give it a chance.
No, I appreciate that. I'm sure.
And so I don't know if Crow is typing or not. Oh, just a heart. Okay, heart is good. I like hearts.
Hearts are
So
always
heart
good.
back. Yay.
But
So nope,
yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think
So,
you're good
okay.
to go on.
All right, so the story I'm going to talk about this time is going to be finding work.
Oh
and
gosh.
I want to...
Sorry.
What?
I had to fix my thing. I was trying to get to a screen on it, and it was playing the thing through my audio. So I'm sorry. I didn't mute it in time.
It's okay. So so I'm going to talk a little bit about finding work, which is Cherry and Takir's origin story. So Finding Work is the first Aphuanian tale in the anthology. It is not the first Aphuanian tale, though. There's a difference between them. The reason I say that is because I consider the first Aphuanian tale to be the first one I come up with. That story is the Fell Wren, which is coming out in a few weeks because Unrelenting Fate's almost done. But there's a preview on the Patreon. So in Finding Work, we have Cherry and Takir, who are starting a new life in the city of Dravensport. They have left the desert kingdom of Shalgras in order to try to build a life, and also to kind of show that the people of their kingdom can, live among the people of the kingdom of Sevis, and show that yes, we're a good example, and that we work hard and everything, because there's a lot of racism against the Shallgrass people, and they're trying to prove themselves. And by they, I of course mean Cherry. Cherry is my hot-headed protagonist of that. She's really the only one trying to prove themselves. What Takir wants is for his sister to be happy and to be able to just kind of chill and relax. And it's just such a nice little dichotomy. I feel like Amanda has plenty to say about Takir because she loves him so much.
Oh, he's just such a sweetheart. I love him because we did this one collab with a character that is, her story is going to be coming soon to my Patreon, but nowhere else for a while probably. But her like famous words are, "I should go." Like, that's what she says all the time. She has severe anxiety, like horribly severe. And in the collab, we always do, like, they end up in AFing, or one of my worlds, whatever. I'm usually AFing because I'm apparently a slut for AFing. But
She loves my world.
I do. I love the characters in it. They're so much fun. And but she ends up in that world, and she spends all this time with Takir for the sole fact that he just lets her sit there and tie knots, and he tells her how to, and she loves learning new things. That's like
that's all he does. He doesn't pressure her or doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He's just like,
he is just a sweetheart of a character.
And yes, Takir is a lovely character that he doesn't expect anything from anyone. He just wants to.
If you're the type of person without like much of a social battery, Takir would be your best friend because he's like a low drain kind of person, if a drain at all.
Yeah, he's literally, and he's got a wit too. Is the funny part?
He's funny.
He has very good jokes, but they're very like kind of witty and opportunistic.
Yeah.
Cherry makes a comment about being a how nobody wants to hire a hot-headed Shallgrass apparently, and Takir just goes, "Oh, we should just find you a cool towel for your hot head."
Yeah.
Or when Cherry says, you're going to be haunting me from the grave, or giving me crap from the grave, he just goes, "Oh, I don't expect a grave. You don't have a shovel to dig one." That sort of thing. So he's a very sweet, very laid back character, whereas Cherry is quite the opposite. She is hot-headed, she is passionate, and she is ambitious. And it shows it. She doesn't want to accept anything less than what she's worth, and she knows her worth. She has training. She's done, great things in her kingdom, and she wants to show that in other places. So, unfortunately, the other people, because of who she is and the fact that she's from Shallgrass, she deals with a lot of systemic barriers and people just not taking her seriously. And it ends up resulting in eventually her getting in trouble with a captain of a merchant ship who is very not happy with her, and they end up it causes a big fight between them and the guards and everything. But luckily we happen to have a certain somebody here to save them, and by somebody I mean Arya. Yes, and Arya is just an amazing character. So Arya is the captain of the Crimson Tempest, which is a legendary pirate ship that has never lost a battle. It is full of mages, and they accept people of any race, but the big thing with them is that they are not afraid to use whatever underhanded tactics they can because, well, they are pirates.
Mm-hmm.
And they mostly target night ships and merchant ships that are of very high expense or that have very shady business practices. But so she happens to come to the rescue because she's like, "Hey, these people don't deserve this, and I'm just trying to have a drink, and all these people are fighting and everything, and I want to have fun with this," because Arya's the type of person that loves to cause chaos, and her sexuality is explosions. So that can tell you what kind of mage she is.
Best sexuality.
It is. She
imagine her with Mr. Torg.
Basically, yeah. I mean, she and Mr. Torg from Borderlands would definitely get along well. But so she gets involved, and she makes the knights that Cherry and Takir are having so much trouble with look like novices in her stead. Manages to kill a few, gets others to, gets the captain of the one ship to retreat and everything, and then she and Cherry make off towards the Crimson Tempest. Not going to spoil a whole lot else, but essentially there's a lot of fight scenes towards the second half of the story, and Cherry ends up actually finding a home among the Crimson Tempest and the crew of it. I don't want to give everything away because there's a couple of prove yourself moments and things like that, but you get to really see what type of characters both Cherry and Arya and Takir are, and you also get your first sneak peek at Elra, who is very popular on Tapas. I'm finding there's a lot of people when I do the threads. A lot of times when I mention characters and stuff, people that I didn't even know, they don't even comment on my stories and stuff like that, but they'll be like, yeah, we want to know more about Elra. Because,
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, I actually have a little bit of time, so Elra is Arya's sister, and she is a psionic pirate queen, essentially. The two of them share the role on the Crimson Tempest, and Elra's powers are kind of varied and great. Her main ones are telepathy and telekinesis. She can put her voice into your head whether you want her to or not, and she will just straight up she's used it to her advantage. In fact, in Unrelenting Fate, we see that a little bit with when Ezra makes a kind of a lewd comment and it pisses her off.
Yeah.
Elra is the type of person that she is a very cold and seemingly uncaring person, and her big motivation for being a pirate is money.
Money, money, money.
We mentioned before that she has been known to double dip on missions and things like that, but
Dip, dip, potato chip.
But yeah, her biggest thing though is definitely her telekinesis, because she has just masterful control of it. She also has the potential, if she has control over someone, to essentially give them a psionic attack that will just melt their brain. Just straight up, it basically just crushes their brain from the inside out.
If you ever played Super Hot, think of that, when you get to the end and you get to, you get the part where you get to brain fry the enemies and their head just goes pop.
Yeah, she can fry somebody's brain by focusing enough psionic power, but using her powers to a large extent can be very draining for her, and it's hard for her to recover. But so normally when she's in fights, more likely she's using her telekinesis and throwing things, or using multiple swords at once by using her telekinesis that way as well. She is very gifted and skilled with that. That's her main thing. I think that's all I have for my for the Aphuanian Tales side of things. Amanda, do you have anything you wanted to add as far as stuff?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, we covered a lot there, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost been our hour for the night anyway. Yeah. So, haha, I took over now. Suck it. But the next stream that we do will be on what's that called? Oh my gosh.
Wednesday?
Yes, Wednesday at 10 p.m. We will probably be continuing some Portal 2 stuff because we finished the base campaign for co-op, but that doesn't mean that there isn't more stuff to do. And you can be
DLC and I think the community maps.
And but the other possibility is that we may start doing a Halo playthrough because Halo is great. But follow our Twitters to to keep up with what actually is going to be streamed. Every Wednesday is our co-op stream, so you can bet that we'll be doing some sort of co-op game, where every Friday switches between this and Oblivion. Right now I'm doing a solo playthrough of Oblivion, but wonderful Cease is always there to keep me company, to help
am.
and commentate and make me feel terrible when I kill people. So it's really fun. You
We
should
have
come
a
watch
family.
it. Guys should come watch everyone guilt trip me in chat. It's great to watch me scream and struggle.
It's a really good time.
Yeah. Speaking of screaming and struggling, that's concerning. Sorry.
Oh, no, by all means.
Speaking of screaming and struggling, I will be streaming The Exorcist VR Legion at some point soon, unfortunately, for my sanity.
I cannot wait for that, and it's going to be a good time. And also, Crow is already giving you crap about killing the wolves.
Yeah. So,
Did you just stick your nose on the screen?
no, I tapped my nose.
Oh, okay.
I found that I could tap my nose.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I thought it was cute.
It was. Okay.
The face. No, but yeah, so I'm going to be doing some VR streams at some point. I just don't know if I'm going to end up doing them on a Wednesday or a Friday or perhaps a whole nother day entirely if I can get the time for it. So that's the real thing. Otherwise, today, just remember that we both had content drop today for free on Tapas and Wattpad, as well as stuff that you can read ahead on our Patreons. So be sure going to, oh gosh, my caps locks was on. Sorry guys.
Oh my.
HippieGhost. So with that link tree for HippieGhost, you can get access to all of her content up there, including her Patreon and everything, so you don't have to try and find all of our shit. It has all of our socials on it and whatnot, and that one has all of my socials and all on it, as well as my Patreon as well. The Discord, however, I'll be putting an invite up in just a second here. I gotta change scenes because it fucks with the whole avatar bit there. But we'll hop over to promo. But so the Discord has a lot of fun free stuff on it. It does have sorry. It does have a Patreon exclusive area, but that's so people can talk to other Patreons or get priority questions and answers, access to the priority questions and answers thing. So the difference between the priority one and the free one is that the priority one I will give you an answer for right away, as soon as I see it, that is. And the free version, you can post any question you have and it will be answered on StoryTime ChitChat rather than instantly on the Discord. But I mean, it doesn't mean I won't ever, like, I mean, I have no problem answering it. It'll just be like if it's about the newer chapters, it'll wait till Storytime ChitChat. Otherwise, for free for everyone, there's a social channel that everyone has access to, another one that is mature rating. You just have to confirm your age with me before I give you the level access to get into that, so that way people can speak freely-ish. I say ish because there's still rules like no slurs, no bullshit like that. There's also a Storytime chat channel for just story discussion, and then there's the Spoiled Sloth, which is for discussing spoilers. And then there's another one for fan art, and the possibly one of the most fun ones is, or entertaining ones at times, I can't say at times, but when it does go alive, is the character chat one. It's where I basically only reply to messages as my characters. And Hippie also jumps in on that chat, replying as her own characters. So you can talk to characters from the story, and I write them from the perspective of their current character development of the newest released chapters for free. So it's a lot of fun to join Discord. And other than that, we talk about a lot of random bullshit. We share a lot of pictures of foxes and crows because they're adorable. Anyways.
They are adorable. And yeah, so I guess have a couple of announcements on my end. If you're ready.
Oh, one last thing is the next content drop for When Souls Awaken is Friday, May 14th, which will be chapter 44 will be dropping for free, and chapter 45 will be dropping ahead on Patreon.
All right. So, I guess on my end now. So I also have content dropping on the 14th. So Patreon is probably going to end up having to get something special because I already have kind of the teaser and I think episode 1 up on Patreon for the Fel Ren. So I'm going to end up doing something special for next week for my Patreon subscribers. I just haven't figured out what yet. Maybe it'll be going... Huh?
Hey, never mind.
What were you... No.
No.
Okay. She'll probably give me that idea after the stream. We'll see.
Yeah, well, it's a really short deadline, so I don't want to say it and then not have it happen.
That's fair.
So, well, we might have other little surprises coming up soon, but we'll see. It all depends on deadlines.
But the reason I need to come up with something special is because as a kind of a bonus for my Patreons, I did the first episode of the Fel Ren and put it up on my Patreon a few weeks ago. So it's already up on there, and I'll be bumping it up on my Patreon when it's scheduled. But the reason that this is important is because next week is the last episode of Unrelenting Fate. It is actually labeled as the epilogue. What that means is that on the 21st, we're going to get a teaser for the Fel Ren, which is already scheduled to post. And then on the 28th, the first episode of the Fel Ren comes out on Tapas for free, and that is one I'm most excited about. It is the first Aphuanian Tale. It is also one that is it stuck with me for years. I finally get to actually publish it and put it up online. So I'm really excited about that. Then the Fel Ren episode 2 will be on June 4th. That one is also already scheduled, which means that, yes, for the next 4 weeks, I already have all my content scheduled, planned, ready to go. Episode 2 of the Fel Ren will be available on Patreon on the 28th, so it's actually 2 weeks of Patreon updates that are going to end up being special things. So maybe we will have a little extra time with one of those deadlines.
All right.
The other last one is that I got the notification that my tarot deck will be shipping soon, and I'm really excited about it. So chances are I'll be bugging some of our Discord users for chances to do readings and practice on.
That's the other reason to join our Discord, because we will use you guys as guinea pigs for stuff that we intend to sell later on.
Yep. And that's a pretty big thing. So I'll be using some of our Discord people as guinea pigs for my tarot readings, which is really exciting. Because once I have my tarot deck and I'm ready to do it, I'm going to be adding that as one of my possible Patreon rewards. Yeah.
All right.
That's all I got.
So that's all we have for tonight, folks. Anyways, special thanks to my, Patreon, Ko-Fi supporters, Cecilia, Kathy, Alex, Ruby, and Drail.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
And also thank you to our frequent and returning viewers. I really appreciate you. You guys are making it possible for me to eventually reach Twitch affiliate and whatnot. So if you're watching us and you haven't followed yet, please be sure to hit the follow button. And, you can always go on my profile, check out my other stuff, follow me on Twitter. Post a lot of gold on there too, I feel sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do.
It's a lot of fun. Either way, we're always happy to have new people come and talk and join in the chat anytime. We'll be happy to see any of you in our next stream as well, which will be a fun little co-op stream where we scream at you to go read our stuff and also scream at each other as I put bridges everywhere. It'll be great.
Yeah. I really want to make sure that at some point we do get some clips of some of our greatest co-op moments, because there's some real gold in there. Most of it being just you doing something that's completely off track and me just watching for a few minutes before going, Amanda, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Also, this is our 13th StoryTime ChitChat stream, so first of all, nice. And speaking of nice, I surpassed 69 subscribers the other day, so nice.
Yeah.
I'm at 71 now, so I can't make the joke properly. But I was there when I saw number 69, and I even commented. I posted on the person's thing. So nice.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone, again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. It means the world. Let me just check something real quick before I run away. Okay, no. I was trying to see if so Shadow Inferno, if you were watching earlier, he drops in here and he usually streams on Fridays, but I think we're ending before his stream is starting, so otherwise I would have tried to raid him. But but he's in our server, our Discord server as well. He's lots of fun, and he was one of my alpha readers, so to speak, of when Souls Awaken. Do not ask him for spoilers, because he knows better than that.
He does know better than
I
that.
hope.
And
he'll like lording it over you, honestly, probably.
he probably would, yeah. He's a bit of an edgelord like that. Oh my god, he's going to lure you by edging.
Oh my god.
Lord
Okay.
edging.
Okay, I
Anyway.
love you too, Crow.
Yes, love
Thank you
too, Crow.
so much. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. I'm hanging up now. Doodly doop.